We've got a no vacancy news today special. We're talking labor, labor, labor. That's right. Coming up right now on No Vacancy News today. Hey everybody, your friendly neighborhood Glenn here, and thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like those YouTube videos, follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the other places you'd like to get our stuff. And of course, today's video is brought to you by the amazing folks over at SkyTouch Technology, the hospitality industry's most innovative property management system. All cloud-based, all great stuff, helping you be more successful as hoteliers. They're changing their system as your needs change constantly. Learn more at skytouchtechnology.com. Okay, now on with the news. We've got a special edition today, and I spoke with Chris Green, our friend Chris Green, the CEO of Chesapeake Hospitality. It's about an issue he never expected to have, a labor shortage in the middle of a pandemic when people need jobs. Here's what he has to say. Chris, so great to see you. Listen, man, you join us on No Vacancy Live all the time, but we haven't done one of these one-on-one videos in about a year now. And at the last time we did one of these videos, we were talking about the severe labor crisis. You couldn't find people to fill positions. But now, with so many people out of work, that phenomenon seems to have taken on a strange new turn.
Yeah, Glenn. First of all, thanks for having me back. I love talking about our business, and I've enjoyed our time the past year on No Vacancy. These are great, though. We can dive into specific topics. The last time we did this, we did talk about labor and the labor shortage because we were at all-time highs in RevPAR and revenue, and the business was booming, and we just couldn't find people to fill critical roles. And then we go into the pandemic, and then naturally, as leaders, we think, okay, there's a lot of people on the sidelines. So when things come back, we're going to have a plethora of labor available. And the problem is two things, in my opinion. One, the length and the depth of what we've been through. And frankly, government assistance might be part of it, but really, in my opinion, it's the fact that we've gone so long. If you remember back in July, Glenn, when we thought things were looking up, and all of us super glass half full guys thought, okay, it's been 90 days and we're out of this thing. We were able to stay in touch with our associates and keep them engaged and coming back. But now that we've stretched into a whole year, basically we're about 10, 15 days short of a year, we've lost a lot of people, and I'm just not sure that that's recoverable until we see real green shoots in the business. Because I can tell you, for us, Glenn, we're trying to call people back to work because we are seeing improvements week over week over week, and 3 out of 4 employees are not coming back to work.
Wow, that is incredible. That's surprising. But if we dig a little deeper, it makes more sense. You've had to pivot. You've had to rethink your business. You've had to rethink how you're going to live your life. I've had to do exactly the same thing. So it's only natural that folks that were engaged in hospitality jobs have had to do the same thing. They can't sit on the sidelines forever and hope things will come back. So what position does that put you in right now for a company that's in so many markets across the country?
It's extremely difficult. The number one issue we talk about in our Monday senior leadership meetings is labor. Our head of operations is constantly talking about challenges that we see in markets and acquiring the right labor to fill, all the way from entry level to management level jobs. Quite frankly, we have GM jobs open that we're struggling to fill right now that are in specific markets, and great hotels. I'm getting ready to open a beautiful Curio out in Omaha. We're looking for a great GM out there. We just have not been able to find the right person because people have pivoted. Like you said, listen, I'm a lifer in hospitality, and I know you are too.
Yeah.
But others, I'm nervous about it, and we're going to be fighting for talent. There's going to be a real war for talent in the great hotels, and all I can do at Chesapeake is do what I've always done: is try and drive a great culture where people want to be part of something bigger that we're doing. We're in hotels, but we're also in something bigger, right? A culture that matters, a culture of integrity and leadership in our industry space. And taking care of a place where they feel safe and they can feel included and they can see success. And they know their CEO came from the operational ranks, that you can do whatever you want in our company. And that's all I can do is present a great path forward for people and let them know that even though right now hospitality is really muted, it's going to be back, and it's going to be back in force. And if I was going to join into some new career right now, when I would get in? Right now. Because if I was sharp and I wanted to do something exciting, you're going to be on the upswing. And we all know this thing's cyclical. So we got 10, 15 years ahead of us of a big run coming.
That's right. We firmly believe over at No Vacancy News and our affiliated shows that we are on the precipice of excitement and greatness for the hospitality industry. But right now, we still have those challenges. We don't have the before and we haven't reached the after. We're in this weird in-between space where everything seems to be in flux. Everything is continuing to change. And Chris, one of the other challenges you have is not only the cost of labor going up right now because you need to attract and retain quality talent, but there's also potentially a big change in what that minimum wage is going to be. And it's important for me to say that everybody deserves to get paid a living wage. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about your ability to get talent. So how do you see the potential for minimum wage to continue to go up and up in the next few years, further affecting what you're going through right now?
I got probably a longer answer than you want. First of all, I mean, I'm in favor of everyone making a wage too, that they can live and live and thrive in their marketplace, right? So I'm an ops guy, and ops guys by nature always look at the pennies to make sure we're getting all the flow through we need. But here's the thing. In our business, people are what matters, and people need to be not only comfortable, they need to be able to thrive for their families, have access to everything they need, have great benefits. And so I think that the minimum wage increases are not only mandatory, they're just going to happen, and we're going to have to deal with them. I do think that regionality matters because the living wage in San Fran is not the same as the living wage in Orlando, Florida. It's just not. But I think we need to be thoughtful. But that doesn't mean, I think something definitely has to happen. And as hoteliers, and quite frankly, the service industry, we've probably been lagging for a long time, and we're going to catch up. And I think during this administration, we're probably going to see a more aggressive effort to catch up.
Yeah, I agree with you. And one of the things that frustrates me, and we've spoken to this with HLA President and CEO Chip Rogers on No Vacancy Live, which you guys can catch daily at noon. I proposed to him what you're saying right there. Why do we have a federal minimum wage tied to who knows what it's based on? It should be tied to the economic stresses that people are having in individual communities, because you're right, Mobile, Alabama, things don't cost as much as they do in San Francisco. And I think wages need to reflect that.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think that that's the overriding feeling in our industry. I mean, I don't think there's anybody, the way we've moved in the past 10 years with focus on the associates. I mean, Chesapeake's always done it, but the industry focusing on the associates, I think it's become a reality that we're going to have to work with, and we need to work with. But I do think that there's got to be some sniff test on reasonability when we're talking about markets. Because to your point, you can rent an apartment in Mobile for $650, but in New York, you can't rent a closet for $650, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Let's take out the human element for a second. If minimum wage rises, that means all the other salaries that you have to pay will probably wind up going up as well. How does that affect your potential for profitability for the owners in your company that own the properties in your, that you manage in your company over the long term, when we are coming out of the most profound crisis of the history of the hospitality business?
Yeah, it's going to put a lot of downward pressure the initial period. But here's the thing, as an industry, one thing we've always struggled to do because of the fragmentation of our industry and the breadth of the different operator structures is grow our total RevPAR at the hotels. And that has to happen. We're the only industry. Listen, the airlines, if they have a wage increase the next week, you know that the rate for the flight went from $359 one way to $399 one way. We're the only industry where, because of you've got pricing sensitivity across marketplaces and different ownership and management groups across, and different underwritten thesis under the investment structure where people can afford to take $159 and not $199. This is a struggle for everybody. So it's going to put pressure on pricing, and we're going to have to be thoughtful about making sure that we price ourselves appropriately. I mean, we need to have thriving businesses. And to do that, we've got to have the proper income totals. I mean, people are looking for income everywhere. And I think if we would just focus on the cost of the room and how to sell that room and market that room at a fair market rate, then we would be in better shape than trying to find $1 here for this fee and $1 for the internet fee. I just think we have to be thoughtful about how we price our business, and it's just a tough one.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, I want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Listen, everybody, labor is going to continue to be a challenge. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. How will you be handling the labor reckoning that we're having right now and coming in the future? I'm Glenn Hausman. Thanks for watching.